Well, today DC Universe Online dropped on the Nintendo Switch. I've been playing it all day. What do I think of this release? DC Universe Online is an interesting game for me history-wise. I played the crap out of this game when it came out first on PC. Okay? My buddy Al and I played this thing night in and night out. We hit level cap within a couple of 2 days, I think, at most. And then we started hitting the raids and the endgame content and grinding it out. Once the game released on PS3/4, I want to say, I went back to it and I started a few new characters. I wanted to see what the game was like. Personal preference, I prefer playing things on my video game consoles over my PC. If I was going to play a PC game, it would literally never be these games that are on my consoles. It would be like Guild Wars 2. And so, playing this on the PlayStation, I love the PlayStation controller. I love the way the game was handled. The servers were great. How did it do on the Nintendo Switch? Well, I won't lie to you, the graphics are similar to what we had on the PlayStation, I want to say PlayStation 3. Everything's going to look better on the PlayStation 4 than it is on the Nintendo Switch, for the most part. And I do think, having played through this today, that, I'm just going to be honest with you. I feel like the servers are definitely better on Sony's consoles, and, obviously the PC, that was the first place the game launched. I'm going to assume that, however they do the servers, whether it's connection to the server, I forget, I thought they merged the servers into one. Of course, that brings me to the thing that really excited me about this coming on the Nintendo Switch, was that for the first time in, this game's got to be 10 years old at this point, this is a fresh server. So there's no, level max 30 people sitting in the Justice League Watchtower constantly spamming chat for raids. Now we're back to square one, where majority of the population is, let's be frank, in the starting areas. And I think that's great, because the starting areas are some of the areas that encourage, communication. I don't want to say cooperation, but communication the most. And when I say that, it's because at the start of the game, that's the most fun you're going to have, getting hooked into it, right, is doing... If you're me, I usually pick Magic or Meta as my background, so I'm usually doing the Felix Faust quest line, or the Gorilla Grodd storyline for Superman, if I remember correctly. And yeah, it's just fun, You're lower level, you're all damage aspect, and you're just throwing out powers with friends and beating people up. But couple of things I want to say. So I had a few sound issues when playing the game today. I think that's something everyone should be aware of, because it's something I've heard from not just my friends anecdotally, or myself playing the game today, but it's also something I saw another person who's reviewing the game comment on, and I definitely felt this in the tutorial. I definitely felt this in the opening areas. It's just sound clipping here and there, or crackles here and there. It's stuff that you wouldn't hear on the PC or the PlayStation, or probably the Xbox. The other thing I want to say is I really enjoyed the revamped tutorial here. It's much shorter, it's much more straightforward, it's much simpler. And the reason I bring that up is because I remember starting a new character in DCUO to be a big pain in the butt. You would start a character, and the tutorial was, even if you sped through it because you were an experienced player, it was still way too long. And here it's like, right from the get-go, they're like, oh yeah, now Superman is helping you. Go. Returning to DCUO, though, some things feel weird to me, because I did not miss the min-maxing that this game encouraged. And I don't feel it's any different here, having, patched the game or worked on the game from the time that I left the game to now. I don't think it's any different than it was. And that's that there are better weapon sets for different power sets, and that feels restrictive. That takes the fun out. Now, I'll compare this to City of Heroes, which has seen kind of a resurgence this year on the PC, another game I would play on PC because it's not on consoles. And that game has powers that do work really well when paired, but for the most part, that game is like, create the character the way you want him to look, no restrictions, create the power set that you want to create, no restrictions, and it just feels like I'm making my character. And DCUO, after all this time, does start to feel dated now, because of those systems where, okay, if I'm gonna take a tank class power set, I'm gonna want something like one-handed, like brawling, like the hammer. And if I'm gonna take stuff like, I love the mental power set in this game, okay, well then hand blasts or pistols, the range sets, those are usually better. And that feels really restrictive and weird to me. And of course, at the start of the game, going through the character creator, I feel like I always make the most bland characters when I start this game, because the items that are available for you to customize your appearance, it's not City of Heroes. So there's like 20 options per, but they're all the same set, right? So like, yeah, we'll just use the bicycle item on every part of our body, or the, this set, that set. It's, otherwise it just looks weird too. But I have to admit that despite those, snippets of complaints that I've had, because I am a long time, on and off again player, I did find myself enjoying this. Now, part of the reason might be because I'm able to play it handheld, so, for whatever reason I need to be outside, I have internet access, I can play this game. And it's a nice game to throw your time into, that you can just make new characters, and you can play through, okay, I did a magic character, and I did the Wonder Woman storyline in the beginning, and now I'll play through and start with the Batman. And I know that, yeah, you can definitely do all the storylines with any character. I'm just saying, from Jump Street. I definitely, I will fully admit, guilty pleasure, I love super speed in this game. I love speeding around this city. I love flight in this game. And even acrobatics is fun. The travel powers in this game are fun. These ridiculous races. All in all, I really do hate DCUO. And it's really hard to throw too much hate, because it is a free game. And while that doesn't excuse it from the flaws that it has, because it's a free game, my animosity towards the developers and creators is so low. This is something where, yes, if I want more than 2 characters, or if I want, one of the non-6 basic power sets or whatever, I'm gonna end up shelling out a couple of bucks. And I have done that on the PlayStation, where I have a electricity character capped, and a earth character, and a rage character. Yeah, it's nice to have those things, and you can pay for them if you want them, or you can just play the game for free all the way through. 2 characters out of the 6 sets, and it's a lot of fun. If you haven't played DCUO, and you're looking at this review and you're saying, Chris, is this something I need on my Switch? I would say, hell yes. Download this game for free. Play it as long as you want, or as little as you want, but download this game. It is free, and it's a fun experience. It's a fun story. The comic book scenes are really nice. Some of the boss battles are really fun. The group events, like the raid events, those are really fun. Especially, I don't want to even say especially at high levels, because they're fun at low levels. And if you're thinking like, oh, well, if I'm playing this, I really want to play as X character, then play the Legends PvP mode. There's a lot of ways to play this game, and most of the ways can be done with $0 put in. You already paid for your Switch. Play this game. If you guys are interested in DCUO at all, don't let anything stop you. Just download the game, play it, and enjoy those sweet, sweet cutscenes. Anyway, this has been another review, guys. If you enjoyed the video, for sure drop a like, drop a comment. If you dislike the video, be sure to do so. If you are a longtime DCUO player and you disagree with some of the criticisms that I've dropped down there, let me know. I would love to have a discussion about it. If you guys want to subscribe to the channel, we appreciate that hugely. Hit that notification icon. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to me babble about DCUO. And I will talk to you guys again soon.